Comics Plus. What is going on? My name is Akasan, and this time I actually was one of the fastest people alive. Here we go. It's time to finally review the Flash movie. Now, just a preface. I watched this Flash movie about a month ago. And so I saw an early release version of it that wasn't finished yet. That's what they said, at least. But based upon what I'm hearing and seeing from a lot of people on Twitter right now, it looks like it's pretty much the same movie I saw. I'm wondering still. I'm very curious. So I was going to try to watch it today. I just do not have the time. They released the Spider-Verse and the Flash out here the same day in Japan, so I just don't have the time to go see it. I got other stuff I need to do, and so I probably won't be able to get to actually seeing the Flash on the big screen maybe until 2 weeks from now. Maybe my priority right now is to watch Across the Spider-Verse one more time, because I also got to see kind of early Japan screening, so I want to watch that. That being said, I didn't want to leave you guys this weekend because I was not able to do a spoiler review for the Spider-Verse and for the Flash, so I wanted to at least talk about the Flash for you guys. Now again, this is just based upon what I can still remember a month ago, and so your viewing experience might have been different from mine. Let's start with the good. Essentially, I liked Batman. Both Batmans were great in the movie. I don't have any complaints except one small thing. Now, the Flash, I think Michael Keaton's 1989 Batman was fine. It worked perfectly. I don't think there was he was insane. He was great, some lines were a little corny, but overall, I think it worked. I think it worked for his crazy version of Batman. And then when, realistically, when going up against Kryptonians, he barely stood a chance, and it was fine. I thought that was fine. Overall, what he was doing was really cool. Now, Batfleck, honestly, the introduction of Batfleck was great. I actually, this is maybe the first time I've actually been excited to see. Now I can see where Ben Affleck said he finally got playing Batman down finally, and he felt like this was his best performance, his a good exodus, so to speak. It looks like, honestly, it really felt like he got it grounded. Finally, Bruce Wayne and Batman, he made it happen. I personally, the way they opened up when he was coming out was just really cool, man. I feel like somebody finally got the Justice League as the way, we've seen them in the animated renditions, right? I felt like finally we got to see the Justice League kind of act like the Justice League, right? With Wonder Woman showing up. I feel like there's one other person. Alfred was there. I mean, he's not part of Justice League, but you know what I'm talking about. Just the interaction with the group, and then the name drops. Yes, we had the issue with Superman, but it was there, right? But the only big problem I actually really had was I didn't understand what the hell Batfleck was wearing. I don't know what was up with this. He was wearing some sort of beer can ring sort of clothing that looked like it did nothing, dude. I was like, what? And then secondly, now this is something I don't know if they changed it down the line, but he lost his in the version I saw, he didn't have the voice changer deal. So there was no sort of voice changer. So every time he talked, he was just he's just kind of sounded goofy. And there was a few lines where, he had the last little truth on him, and I'm like, man, just cut it out, man. Just cut all that out. So I don't know if that made it into the final cut. So you guys will have to let me know. But that was all really brutally corny to watch, and I really wish they I hope they cut that out, and just kind of kept him a badass, and that's that. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, it was kind of like I was surprised. I did not know Wonder Woman was going to be in the movie. I thought that was really cool. The inclusion, whether it be CG or not, of Superman, Aquaman. Interesting enough, the only one that they didn't do was, well, they actually mentioned Cyborg a little bit, but they didn't show anything, obviously, because they just don't want any part of Ray Fisher anymore. So they just kind of looked them up in name only, and it was interesting to see that. So I thought that part was handled really well. I thought this was a good way of basically showing us what the DCEU could have been at some point in time, but it's enough that it was like, okay, well, it's okay to kind of also reboot this. It's enough. Like, we got a nice little look. It's kind of cool to see, and it is what it is, right? The interaction with Bruce Wayne and I want to say Ezra Miller, Barry Allen, I thought worked really well on both sides. Affleck and Ezra Miller, and then Affleck and Keaton. I thought that worked really well. You know, controversies aside, I thought Ezra Miller did a really good job in playing two dramatically different Barry Allens. You know what I mean? We've seen this situation before where Barry Allen, Grant in the CW version, has gone through time or whatever and met different versions of himself. And while they have some sort of difference to him, I'd never seen them as dramatically different as the way Ezra was doing it. They also poked fun at a lot of stuff, the beginnings of when we first saw the Flash. Even the running situation, running like a gazelle type of deal. Like there was one scene where the two Barry Allens were kind of talking. He was flopping around like, and I'm kind of glad they kind of poked fun at it. There's something I mentioned like a month ago. Is I'm not a big fan of Ezra's version of Barry Allen, but I thought this movie did a really good job of helping portray why Ezra's Barry Allen is the way he is. Like, he's mentally kind of damaged, emotionally damaged, and kind of broken, right? And so I also see hints of like autism as well. Kind of this autistic sort of way of thinking and doing things, and you know, like kind of just like I don't know what it is, but I think this movie helped illustrate that there's some sort of pain and torture and suffering going on with Ezra's version of Barry Allen. So I think this movie helped make it work a lot better, other than just the way he was originally just thrown into the other movies, and you're just like, dude, he's so corny, he's so weird. He runs like a gazelle ballerina type of deal, like he's ice skating. What is this weird running style, right? I think this movie finally helped explain where the source of a lot of that emotional damage is coming from, right? So again, not saying I'm a big fan of this portrayal of Barry Allen like this, but I think this movie did a good job of explaining that. And so basically, those were the highlights. Those were the good things. But I mentioned some of the bad things. The only other thing that really was sticking out like a sore thumb, I think Sasha did a really good job as Superwoman. I don't have any really complaints about that, but it just went as it kind of did as you expected it to on paper. It was kind of there, and that was fine. You know, subtle, nothing bad about it. The only thing that really stuck out was for me was the third act. It just, you could tell that, you know, there were a lot of different changes, lots of different versions that went through with all the different reshoots, the delays, things like that. And then finally, the epic final ending situation with all the different multiverses coming together. Again, I saw this a month ago, so I don't know if it was. I just assumed it was unfinished CG. But from what I've been hearing on Twitter, it doesn't look like the versions that you guys are seeing right now are any different than what I saw. I felt like when I was seeing all these different Supermen, um, all these like I don't even. There are other things that they were showing, right? But I just particularly I just remember the different types of Supermen, right? It just looked like something Ultra Sergeant has made. Ultra Sergeant, very famous YouTuber that makes a lot of mashup multiverse type videos, like what if Henry Cavill meets Superman, Christopher Reeve's Superman. That's what it basically looked like. Like it looked like, and that's Ultra Sergeant just taking what's out there on available to him. The WB has a whole horde of like resources, and from what I've seen, again, I don't know if it's gotten better, but it looked like very unfinished. But from what I'm hearing, it looks like it's still the same. Like they didn't really change much to anything. I just thought I was looking at like some. It was really weird, man. Some like really bad deep fake technology. But I don't know. So again, I'm gonna have to confirm this. You guys can confirm this to me. Now the speed running through time, running through the multiverse. I know some people have been complaining about that, but I felt like that's the way it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be kind of like this weird kaleidoscope, like a storyboard kind of rotating, animating through, right? And that's how he's picking and choosing what memories, what timeline to guide him, right? So I don't have any complaints about kind of like how like unfinished the CG was, like because I felt like that was the point that the director intended to have happen. But the final season, the ending, that's it. Now, here's two questions I have for you guys. Speculations. Here we go. First and foremost, here's the first thing that I thought about when I went home after watching this movie. I'm like, okay, so if after all this, the whole story was Barry goes back in time to stop his mom from getting killed, right? And then the other Barry stops him, blah, blah, blah. And then you get the Dark Flash, blah, 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 whatever, right? All of this is this Harry Potter-ish sort of thing. I'm you type of story. At the end of the day, I was kind of wondering, so who killed Barry's mom, right? Who actually was the one who killed Barry's mom? That's what I liked. And I'm not talking like a metaphorical sort of situation. Oh, it was Barry that killed Barry's mom, right? No. I'm just curious who literally stabbed her. Like, was it Reverse Flash? Was it a random dude? And I know in the animated version of Flashpoint, they also made it seem like it was just a random dude and not Reverse Flash, I guess, right? Like it was just some sort of random accident, right? But I just felt like that was such a huge point that they were honing in on, and the fact that she died, she was killed, that they actually never really answered that question. Who or what killed Barry's mom? That's one question here. Now, the second and I felt like that was a big one, to be honest. Now, the second, and I will say one other good point about the movie, I thought the interaction with his mom was actually worked really well. Every time we saw her on screen, and then even in the final scenes of him going back and kind of like confessing, and she knew what was going to happen. That's the way I took it, was the fact that Barry's mom had some sort of indication that this isn't the same Barry or something like that, right? Or whatever, right? Yeah, that's right, because she actually was pulled out of time or something like that, right? If I remember. Yeah. So if that's the version that they kept, right? And then because Barry's, and then my assumption here is the fact that because future Barry went back in time and went to that same supermarket, looked up at the camera, they used that imaging of Barry's face to say it was Henry Allen's face, and that's what acquitted Henry Allen and freed him. I was like, That part was kind of like, what? Wait, because you guys have that kind of the same eye look or whatever. I was like, what? Okay, okay, I guess. Now, the final question that I have here, and this is just theory and I'm curious what you guys think about this, is blah blah blah. Henry's dad is arraigned. He gets freed out, and then Bruce Wayne's pulling up here, calls Barry on the phone for whatever reason, and he's like, "I'm pulling up." Right now, a lot of people, and then it ends. Again, this is my version that I saw. The movie just straight up ends with him saying, Barry Allen. He's just like, "Who the fuck is that?" Right, right, and we're led to believe that this is Bruce Wayne, a new Bruce Wayne, right? That's not the Bruce Wayne that Barry Allen is familiar with, right? But apparently they're still friends, blah blah blah. I felt like it was still Ben Affleck's voice. I felt like it was still Ben Affleck's voice, but then again, now that I remember, maybe it wasn't. It didn't sound like his voice. I don't remember anymore, to be honest. But my question is, what if Barry Allen is actually reacting, not necessarily reacting to a new Bruce Wayne, but he's actually reacting to who's with Bruce Wayne? And when I mean with Bruce Wayne, what if the first person to come out of that car or that limousine, I don't remember what it was. Maybe it was a limousine. I don't remember. But to come out of the passenger seat was a child. What if that's Damian Wayne? Right? Wouldn't Barry Allen have that same sort of reaction? Because, he's never seen Bruce running around with any women, or at least any sort of committed woman with any kids. So if some random kid comes out, who the fuck is that? I don't know. That's just my theory. That's one of my theories. I'm not saying that Ben Affleck is still going to be Bruce Wayne, but I'm just throwing it out there as to that would garner even more interesting reaction, right? But it could also be a recast Bruce Wayne. I don't know. I don't know. But that was just something that I kind of thought about when I went home. So in credits, I had none. So in my screening, so I don't really know. From what I'm hearing, it's something to do with Aquaman, and it's bad. But any conversation on Twitter at this point right now, because of the Flash, has been like super negative. So I don't know what to say. So you guys are gonna have to fill me in on this, if it's worth watching again. I felt like it would be worth watching on IMAX or something like that. I watched it in the WB screening room, so it was a little rough. No water, no coffee, no food. It was 10 in the morning. I was still getting the crap out of my eyes, and just still waking up, and I couldn't have my coffee. And then there was a security dude with a big old WB badge right here, a security guard, Bugs Bunny ears, looking at me and everybody else the entire time of the movie. So I was just like, this dude's gonna keep it, because we couldn't film anything. So I feel like I would probably enjoy it again one more time, just at least in IMAX or something. You guys let me know. I mean, it's sad to hear that the CG hasn't been like really fixed. I thought that they were gonna fix it up or something like that, but I guess they felt there was just no need to. It was like they spent way too much money on this movie to begin with, so why bother at this point, right? So anyways, there we go. Red Nation, stand up, speak up. Let me know what you guys thought about The Flash. Let me know what you thought about the Spider-Verse, and I'll talk to you guys maybe in a few days, or maybe we'll have a spoiler discussion on Kick, probably Kick, or Twitch. I don't know, man. Things are wild over in the live streaming world, so make sure you follow me on both of them. I'll leave links in the description below. Peace, y'all.